My hair is really like gross and wet because I was washing dishes. Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming in. My shirt is all wet. Hello. I'll wait a few minutes. See if we can get some more people in here. Wow, my hair is a mess. Thank you for being here. Just wait a few more minutes. I had a lot of people in here yesterday. Actually, it was my peak that really kind of surprised me. I think it was like 250 views in the hour that I was here. So, hello, Marshmallow Man. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate it. Oh, so what a day here in Ohio. It is 60 degrees and raining. It is a mess outside. It is an absolute mess. But I was so, oh my God, dude, my hair. I was so hot earlier. I don't know what was going on. Like, I was so hot. I'm like, I came outside and I was like, oh, it was like freaking air conditioning. Amazing. And thank you all for being here today. All right. What the hell? I'm turning that down. There we go. Hello, number 2. Make sure y'all give me a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. It helps me with the algorithm. And yes, I do have a rant today. And I want to talk a little bit about my experience. Just took a break. I'm transplanting my tomato plants into bigger containers so I can bury some of the stems. Nice. Shawnee, hello. Sitting outside. That must be nice. Hello. Where's my number 3 person? I know you're here. Can you say hello? Hello. Make sure you give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. Okay, so I have a couple things that I want to talk about. And I have 2 rants. I can't believe this. But I do. I have 2 rants. Rants in my pants. Where the heck is Happy Mac? I miss you, Happy Mac. You crack me up. Okay. I have a couple things I wanted to talk about today, and they're kind of serious issues. But the first one I'm going to talk about is, 1, be careful with who you get your information from online. And I am saying this because I saw a post, and they probably kicked me out because I don't play well with others. I guess they probably kicked me out of the group. I have not received a response back, and it was the admin I kind of told off. So, not really. I was nice, but so I want to kind of talk about that a little bit. Hello, Eddie Elliott. Thank you for coming in. Thank you, I think. Thanks. Okay, so this woman posted a picture of her tray and had all the cells in it. And she had, I don't know what she had planted in it, but she had little worms in the cells of her trays. Hello, 13 people. It'd be nice if you could give me a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. Or share me out, something. So, okay, so she got like these little worms, and then she was starting to get gnats. Okay. If you've ever, like little white worms, like in her soil. If you've ever experienced gnats when you're growing something, it happens sometimes. It can be from the soil that you bought. It happens because your soil that you're buying is alive. There's microbes, there's things in it. Your soil is alive. It should not be dead. And so therefore you sometimes get a science experiment. And there's nothing really you can do about that. There are some tips, and I am going to give you some. How do you think about I don't know about all that, and I'm not into slavery. If you're going to talk like that, I'm going to be out. I'm going to delete you. So I've given you one more chance, Eddie Elliott, to be a respectful human being. And if you can't, then you're out. So the problem was, okay, thank you, Eddie Elliott. I appreciate you. Thank you. So I talked to the woman. Well, she got really horrible advice from the admin of the group. Horrible advice. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that because it kind of pissed me off. Not everything you spout off is right. You know, people do things differently, but one thing that she told her that was completely wrong, and is she told her that she needed to sterilize her soil. Now, how many of you out there followed Grow Big TV and follow Matt Powers in the health of your soil? Yeah. So I was as nice as I possibly could, and I said, okay, you don't want to boil or sterilize your soil, because what you're doing is, say for instance, you're buying Happy Frog or Mother Earth, or you're buying what's that stuff called? I can't think of it right now. So, hello. Thank you, Vic, for coming in. Thank you, Shawnee Chef. Boom! Oh my gosh! My brain exploded. I just had an epiphany. Like, duh. Thank you. We want life, right? So I just explained. I said, you don't want to boil your soil. You don't want to cook your soil. You don't want to do anything like that, because especially these people that go out and they buy this expensive ass soil, and then you go and, why are you buying expensive ass soil? You might as well just go to your backyard and dig up some soil. Like, you're not helping anything. So what you're doing is you're buying all this expensive soil and then you're cooking it. So you're taking out all the fertilizers, you're taking out all the microorganisms, all the things that can help you with your plants. You definitely don't want to cook your soil. Okay, so I said that. So another thing that we do, and I know a lot of people don't do this, but one thing I told her, I said, cinnamon helps. Okay, a lot of bugs out there don't like cinnamon at all. So you sprinkle a little cinnamon on the tops, and plus it smells good, duh. You sprinkle a little cinnamon on your cells, and then you just hold off. You can create gnat traps if you want to help yourself, and you are not going to have an infestation. Okay, not with gnats, because once you remove the source, then you don't have any more gnats, because they don't have anywhere to feed. They don't have anywhere to reproduce. So after a while, and you're getting ready to plant your stuff outside, then you won't have an issue with gnats anymore. But yeah, it happens because your soil is alive. There are things in it. Not everything is 100% perfect. So don't boil your soil, okay? What you're doing is, especially if you buy the Happy Frog or something like that, it's so expensive, and then you take it home and you're sterilizing it. You're killing everything that's in there, and you definitely don't want to do that. So anyway, I got kind of told off by saying that, and it kind of peed me off. So I went back in and I said, no, you don't want to do that, because you're paying all this money for soil, good soil, and you're killing everything that's in it. You don't want to do that. So I don't know if I got kicked out of the group or not, but it's a very popular YouTube channel, and she's the admin. You would think that she would know a little bit more. That's my one rant for the day. Yes, Happy Frog has good foods in it, like bat guano and worm castings. Boom. Yes, and if you boil that, you are getting rid of the worm castings. People want light, fluffy stuff and wonder why the seedlings don't grow. Yeah, if there's nothing in it, your seeds are not going to grow. Algae means life. Right. If they have a bug problem, they are overwatering. Truth. What you're doing is, especially in that kind of condition, like in my grow station that I have in my basement, it gets kind of humid down there. I do have a dehumidifier going. I have fans going. It's like stepping foot into a greenhouse. You add water to that situation and it just kind of creates this like tropical environment. And yeah, you can get bugs. But you're going to be okay if you get those bugs. They're disgusting, yes. I don't want to have bugs in my soil, but you're going to be okay, and you're not going to have an infestation. There's not going to be, mounds of gnats everywhere. Things happen, and you definitely don't want to kill your soil, okay? So please don't do that. Please. And then what would happen is you get all these seeds from major companies like Baker Creek or whatnot, and then you do a post on Facebook or whatever, and it goes viral about how your seeds, I planted all this stuff, but nothing happened. And that's really not the case. You sterilize your soil, so there is nothing for your seeds to feed from. And when your plants are that young, you don't want to fertilize them, because if you buy starter seed starting stuff, it has all that stuff in it, and you don't want to over fertilize. Now, there had been times where we use hydroponic fertilizer in our starts and our plant starts to try and get them to grow bigger or whatever. But you're messing with it. Like, if there's something that's off a little bit, you possibly could kill your plants because they're only this big. So you have to be very careful when you do stuff like that. I put dirt in a 5-gallon pails from a garden and leave it outside until about early February. And when I need it, anything in that is the dirt gets frozen like knots, and any bugs like that. Interesting. Yes, and there's a reason why you use a fan, and thank you for pointing that out, Shawnee. There is a reason why it mimics the outside, it mimics the air. When that fan blows around, it dries up the soil. Not only does it drive up the soil, but it makes your plants stronger. It gets them more prepared for being outside. So having a little fan, by the way, those little fans on Amazon, you can get them really cheap. We have a grow tent, and we have a fan in that. And then on my other shelves and stuff like that, we have fans that hook up, and they oscillate, they blow on sorry, I had to change my speaker because my speaker just turned off. So yeah, I have a fan, it oscillates and it mimics the wind. Now, I'm not saying you put that thing on turbo speed and it just blows, no, you want like a light little, fan blowing constantly on your plants, not like freaking hurricane speeds or something. Because that will decimate your plants. But you definitely don't want to boil your soil. And someone that is so persistent like that is ignorant. And I even said, I told her, I said, I don't want a peeing contest. I said peeing because I didn't want to say piss. But I'm like, I don't want to pee. I'm not arguing with you. And I don't want a peeing contest. But you're wrong. And I never commented back. And hopefully, they got the point. But cinnamon will work too. It'll help with and bugs hate cinnamon, and stuff like that. So that is something to think about. And be careful, be really careful with what you are hearing online, and make sure you're doing your own research. The stuff I speak about, the stuff I talk about my foes as well as my, my wins, I guess you would say. 4 people in the house, give me a thumbs up, y'all, please. I talk about my failures too. It's not just, ooh, my garden is perfect. This is all I'm going to talk about is my perfect garden, because honestly, y'all, I have failed so many times in things. I suck at growing onions. There was just so many failed attempts at things that I wanted to grow. But over the years, I have just learned what works for me and what works for my family. And so then, I got really good at growing carrots or peas or, stuff like that. So, and then I've done a ton of research about soil now, and I know that it's so important to feed the microbes in your soil. So please be careful with what you are hearing online and what other people are doing, because they might not show you their failure. They're going to do it, but they won't show you the after effect, or they won't show you the other video, or they won't show you what really happened. And that kind of misinformation is kind of dangerous, and it's not really helping anybody. Yes, you can do that as well. But you gotta be careful too, because with DE, as soon as it gets wet, it doesn't work anymore. That's the worst part about that. So, cinnamon really works as well, and cinnamon also works as a root hormone. You can use that instead of like the root hormone stuff that you buy in the store. It works just the same. Any questions? But that was kind of my rant. Like, I was just kind of taken back by someone that was an admin of a really popular YouTube channel. I'm talking million subscribers, and she's telling everybody, I gotta turn on the air. Holy crap, I'm dying in here. And she was just telling everybody, to boil, you want to boil your soil. No, you don't. No, you don't. Yes, we will be. I'm not going to be selling it at any place. It's really hard for me to travel with my son and go to places, especially like flea market type deals or markets. I really want to do that. Me and my husband are really into that, and we did that a lot before we started gardening. We would do flea markets constantly, and stuff like that to make extra money. So, I won't be doing that this year as far as like traveling, but of course I have my stand, and I will be putting my produce out there. So anybody that's driving by, or anybody like locally that knows I have a stand, can stop by. There's a market garden / orchard ran by a 90-year-old woman asking for help near me. I just don't think I can with 3 kids, especially yeah, I mean, if your kids are really good with like an iPad or a coloring book or something like that, to be quite honest, you don't really need to be there all day. If you could just like hit the mornings, because that's when those flea people come in, the people come in, and they, in the early in the morning, and usually around 2 o'clock they're done. They don't stay as long as they don't stay all day. So if your kids are really good with an iPad or something like that, and you can actually speak to them and be like, hey, I want to do this, where this is how we're going to make extra money, and I need you guys to be with me on this and be really good and color or something like that, then yes. But with my son, it is just not gonna happen. He doesn't color, he doesn't do anything like that, and him sitting there would just not happen. It would not happen. So yeah, so it's just like if you bring coloring books or something for them to do, then yeah, that wouldn't be a problem. But since my son is autistic, it's like, it ain't happening. You know what? I am not a people person either. I may seem like it, but I am not. My husband usually helps me with that, and he goes and he is usually people buy things from him. I do a lot of painting, and I paint signs, and I do stuff like that. And I'm kind of like an artistic type of person, so I will like I'll make chicken signs or something like that, and those usually sell really well. Um, things like that. So um, that's also something to think about. Maybe your kids are feeling like artistic, and they want to make something to sell, and and that will kind of give them a sense of having their own money too. So that's something to think about too. um but yeah, so if they can be good and they can sit there for like 3 hours and while you're selling your produce, then go ahead. And by the way, you don't really have to really do a lot of selling. Your produce, if it's good looking, it sells itself. And you kind of have to target your audience as well. You have to kind of know like what things are selling. Like I did really well with green beans. I couldn't believe the amount of people that loved green beans. So I made up bags, and I put my card in there, with my name and my phone number. Like I put a sticker on there, and then I put my card in there, and I filled them up, and I did 2 pounds. I can't remember if I did 1 or 2 pounds. I think it was 1 pound of green beans for $4. And I sold those, and I did really well. Like people just love those. Also, a lot of people really, really love paste tomatoes. They want the paste tomatoes so they can make their grandmother's sauce or whatever. So those go really fast at a farmer's market. People really want those. So yeah, you just have to target your audience. By the way, they hated heirloom tomatoes. That's another thing that I was trying so hard to not grow one year. We have our own for our own eating or whatever, but I did a lot of market gardening because those heirloom tomatoes, if they crack or anything like that, or if they have a weird color, like heirloom tomatoes have, they're not going to sell because they don't look good. So, that's something to also think about. I know the one year I grew market tomatoes, and that's all I sold because they did not want those heirloom tomatoes. So, I kind of hate people. Oh, I read that. Sorry. So that's something to think about. But please do not boil your soil, and don't sterilize it. There is no such thing as sterilizing soil. Like, don't do that. Um, 4 people in the house. Please give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. Another thing I wanted to kind of rant about, and it has really nothing to do with gardening or anything like that. So most of my lives don't. I say some stuff, but most of my life, like my shorts and my videos, are gardening. So one thing I wanted to talk about a little bit is alternative medicine. I am not one to just take pills. I'm not one to, unless there's something seriously going on that only a doctor can fix. I don't take any kind of medication. So I only take 1 pill a day, and that is because I need it for I have severe anxiety and severe crippling depression. So I take 1 pill a day for that, but that is it. I don't take anything else unless it's herbal or I like vitamin D. I do take that. However, so I work with someone who has, and by the way, they're only 6 years older than me, and they have horrible blood pressure, horrible cholesterol. They have arthritis in both of their hips. And I'm like, man, that is just like horrible. Like, what exactly is going on here? Like, that's horrible. And so I was talking to them, and I told them, I said, you need to really look into alternative medicines because sometimes when you go to the doctor, all they want to do is just feed you pills. They don't want to cure the problem. They just want you to keep coming back. Yes. But they're not, this person is not fat. They are not fat. They are, I would say, skinny. They are skinny. They do, I mean, they walk around a lot. They're a custodian. They walk around a lot. And so I think a lot of it could be an inherited thing as well. However, I told him, I said, please look into alternative stuff. And um, there was a specific thing that my husband was taking that is supposed to help, and so I was gonna tell him about it. But before I could even say anything, the woman that I work with butted in and immediately said that, well, that's dumb. No, that's not dumb. They need bone broth for sure. And yes, it is all about what you eat for sure. Because my husband was having trouble with his knees and stuff, and his ankles and his feet. And he has been keto for, I would say, 6 months. When he eats horrible, when he like has a break on a weekend and he eats horrible, he notices right away that his joints start hurting from like sugar or like having that pasta or whatever, you know. So, and I'm kind of the same way now. Like, since I've been doing it for like 3 months now. And if I have a break over the weekend, or if my mom is persistent and wants to go out to dinner or something like that, and I have something that I shouldn't have, I noticed that, and the next day that my joints start hurting. And so, yeah, like, alternative medicines are not stupid. Like, and the woman I work with, particularly, is on metformin, and I have a huge problem with metformin. And I am not a doctor by all means, so um, I'm just letting you know how I feel about the situation. Metformin is horrible. And it's horrible on your kidneys, on your bladder. I'm sure it's horrible on your pancreas. There's just so many things that is so wrong. By the way, it's probably even horrible on your colon, because so many people that I know, why are you barefoot? Why are you barefoot? There's a kid walking around the parking lot barefoot. Um, so anyway, um, that's really weird. Um, so like metformin, there is alternative medicines to that as well. And so you could take something that is a little bit better than that. So anyway, just do a lot of research for yourself. Help yourself out. If you have a problem, go online and dig into it. Okay, this helps with this. Why does this help with this? Can I take this with what I'm taking? Can it, try and look for alternative medicines, because sometimes the medicines that they give you, by the way, the guy I had been speaking to, his wife had breast cancer, and she's having a huge problem because she is no longer has breast cancer, but she's like in a remission, but she has to take like an anti cancer drug, and she had a choice. The one anti-cancer drug was it would cause you to have high cholesterol, or the other one would probably eventually cause you to have uterine cancer. So, an anti-cancer drug is going to give you cancer. Isn't that crazy? And so she chose the one with high cholesterol. Well, I guess she went to the doctor and had her blood drawn, and her cholesterol was so high that you could see it in the vial in her blood. And she had only been on the medication for like a couple months. There has to be like other alternatives, and to think outside the box is not stupid. So don't let anyone tell you that what you believe is stupid. Like, do the research, find out for yourself. Ooh, there's a huge wasp. Do the research, find out for yourself, and in the long run, you might be a lot happier with an alternative or a vitamin or something that can help you. I am a huge herbal grower. I have lots of different herbs for different things, and I love my kitchen herbs. I love the oregano, the lovage, the thyme, the marshmallow that I grow. There is just so many things, alternative medicines and things out there for you to take that have been on this earth for millions of years that you can take and make into tinctures or make into poultices or, you know, or anything like that. So make sure you're doing your research and don't listen to people that are really close-minded, because that's not really helpful. That's not helpful to say that's not helpful at all. And I can barely talk to him because I kept getting talked over. So, yeah, so I'm just going to give him a list of things that could possibly help, and he can go from there and do your own research. I did an interview. Hold on one second. So we interviewed Ed Curry, and it was really interesting interview because he talked about how he really believes in capsaicin and how capsaicin is not just like a hot pepper, although he loves hot peppers. It's not just a hot pepper. Like, he believes that he cured his mom's breast cancer with capsaicin. So there is always like something to look into, you know? And so I'm lucky to have a homeopathic natural practitioner. That is like the way to go. Now, of course, if you have something serious going on that can't be fixed from that, then yeah, go to a doctor by all means. You know, get that surgery or whatever that, you know, you need. But yeah, I'm starting to think that homeopathic natural practitioner is the way to go. Oh, that's cool. I don't really think we have a whole lot of those around here. And even if so, would your insurance cover it? That's like another thing. It's like, because a lot of insurances wouldn't cover that. So then you're kind of in this trap. I don't even think some HSAs would cover that. So you'd have to pay out of pocket for a lot of it. But yeah, so just be careful out there, guys, with what you're reading, with people that are just so close-minded. I just don't understand that. I am not a close-minded person, so absolutely not. I pay cash, but my HSA I can use. Oh, cool. I didn't know that. I have an HSA too, so I wondered if that would work. And I actually thought about getting some acupuncture done because I have this like pinched nerve in my leg and in my hip, and it drives me absolutely crazy. And it'll even go down my leg, and it's driving me nuts. It drives me nuts all the time. And some days it's, oh my gosh, that is the biggest wasp, paper wasp I have ever seen. She's the only one within 100 miles. Yeah. They're probably kind of rare. But shoot, I'm thinking about maybe going to one for my son. That's like a really good idea. I never thought about that either. And getting him on some herbal stuff. But I am not a doctor, so please don't, you know, hold this live against me or anything like that. But it's just what I believe. I believe in alternative medicine. My son just went to her. Oh, that's cool. For digestive enzymes. Nice. Since I've been eating a lot better and I haven't been eating hardly any dairy, I'm having an occasional cheese or whatever. And oh, I want to show you this. So it's not, what I'm doing is not 100% clean by all means. But I've been drinking these. I drink these like 2 times a day. This is not an advertisement, just an FYI. But I drink these 2 times a day for breakfast and for lunch. And these are amazing. This has Fairlife protein in it, and it has stevia in it to sweeten, and it does have vitamin D3. There's lactose in this, which I believe I'm lactose intolerant, and I'm lactose intolerant with milk and stuff. And I was doing pure protein drinks and stuff like that, and even the Slim Fast stuff, the keto ones, they would like bother my stomach. Oh gosh, what now? Okay, you're not welcome here, Milo Miguel. So I was just having issues. Like my stomach would be so upset all the time, and like, you know, and I'm not going to the doctor for this. I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm hiding it. Gross person. And so I started drinking these Fairlife Core Power things, and since they have the lactose milk in them, I haven't had any issues. Like, I can drink those and not have a stomach upset. So I found like an alternative. However, those are super expensive. It's probably like $40 a week or something like that. But it's all I drink. And then, you know, I have snacks and healthy snacks, and then I have a really reasonable dinner. So it's been working, and I've been losing a ton of weight, and it's really helping. However, yeah, so digestive, yeah. So I just had been having so many issues with my stomach over the past few years. Actually, the past 7 years since I had my son, I just had nothing but stomach upset. Oh, really? Now, I'm not buying the Fairlife because I really don't believe that they're that fair when it comes to milk. I'm not buying it for that purpose. I'm buying it because it's helping me. But muffler is like bent on that bus. That was crazy. I'm not buying it because I think they're fair. I'm just buying it because it really is helping me. It's helping my stomach. So during this process, because I want to lose about 14 more pounds, and I will be so happy. I will be happy. So hopefully I can do that. I want to lose that by the end of this month. Hopefully I can. Oh, it is? Lifeway is it? I just checked. Oh, Lifeway. 2 people in the house. Please make sure you give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. So yeah, be careful with one thing we've learned from this live is, one, be careful with the information that you're reading and what you're getting from other people. No one is perfect, but also you shouldn't be so sure of yourself to where you are making someone feel dumb, or basically telling someone that they're ignorant for believing the way they believe. Just step back a little bit and do some research to yourself and figure it out. And be careful with those people online who think they know everything about growing plants. I want to get wobblers for watering the garden. What are wobblers? I don't know what that is. Thank you for being here, Marshmallow Man. I appreciate you. I don't know what is a wobbler. I've never heard of it before. I want to get a watering system for the garden. I would really love to get like some new system laid out, so I can water all my plants simultaneously, or get some hoses, or I don't know. I want to do that really bad. So, I don't know. Maybe it'll be done this year. Maybe it won't. I don't know. We'll see. Hey, bushcraft. Oh my God, I was just speaking to Tammy yesterday. It felt so good to talk to Tammy. I spoke to her on the phone for about 45 minutes. And it's so nice to just like have a girlfriend to just like shoot the shit with. And are you going to the thing this year, bushcraft? Just curious. It would be on the stand hooked up to the hose and sprays water. Oh, okay. Oh, so you are going. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to hand water. I do have a hose with a thing, an end on it, and that makes it easier. It's, but I have to worry about my hose constantly, like either knocking down plants or something, So, but yeah, wobbler. Interesting. Over a 300-foot radius. I've never even heard of that, but that would be very interesting to set up. It would probably, well, you got to be really careful because you don't want your tomatoes to get wet. You want to water them from the ground. You don't want the leaves to get wet. So I don't know how that would work. I got to figure that out. But that would be very interesting and very helpful. Especially if you don't want to carry watering cans all over, because I know the first year or so I had watering cans and I was like, this sucks. I had to fill up watering cans about 6 times. So it was not good. All right, since y'all are here, please make sure you give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. Depends on what you're growing for overhead watering. Oh, okay. That's really cool. If that helps and it saves your back and your arms and everything else. Usually by the end of the summer, I'm like, my arms are like very muscular because I've been carrying around 2-gallon water jugs back and forth for the water spigot. 42 minutes, y'all. 42 minutes I have been online talking to y'all. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to my rant. And I'm going to wrap things up. Hopefully I will be live tomorrow. I hope if I don't go live tomorrow, I hope everybody has a wonderful Mother's Day weekend. I have so much planned for Saturday and Sunday. And Sunday we usually go out to breakfast with my mom and my brother and my brother's wife and the kids. And then we do the tour of the greenhouses. And I usually get like all of my like hanging baskets and stuff like that. And I'm so excited. Like, I look forward to this every year. I know it's crazy, but I love greenhouses. I love to go and see the new herb that they have going on. By the way, I made fun of the one greenhouse because they were literally selling corn. They had already started corn and they were selling a 6-pack of corn for like $10 or something. And I was like, what? Like, I just thought that was so freaking ridiculous. I've never seen anything like it. So you kind of have to know what you're looking for when you go to a greenhouse too. You don't want to buy a 6-pack of corn. Like, what the hell? Okay. Well, thank you all for coming in, and hopefully I'll be live tomorrow. But if I don't go live, it should be around the same time, around 1:20. If I don't, I hope y'all have a great Mother's Day weekend. And yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking, Shadi. I think I did a short or a small video of it. I was like, can you imagine? I'm going to buy all my corn at a greenhouse and I'm going to plant my field with it with $10 for a 6-pack. Can you imagine how much that would be? That is insane. That like hurts my head. It really does. All right, y'all. You have a good day and we